Hi guys, welcome to my tutorial for character animation and putting it into Unreal Engine and creating a cinematic through or from the animations which we import into Unreal Engine. So what you need to do is visit mixamo.com. Obviously if you have your own assets or your own animations, that would be fine too, so you can skip this part and get straight to the Unreal Engine section of the video. If But if you don't have that and you want to just experiment, what you want to do is go to mixamo.com, log in, use your personal account. If you don't have one, please create one. Most educational accounts don't work. If you want to, you can try it, but most of the time it hasn't worked from what I've noticed. And here's a bit of an introduction to Mixamo. So what we can do first, at the top left, is select characters, and we'll have a whole range of characters which we can select from. I'm just going to select this character here. See with this new character? Yes, I'm going to use it. And once we've selected a character, we can click animations. So the character's kind of loaded in, it's got its textures, the eye's a bit weird, but it might fix later on. There we go, fixed. And what we can do is select a animation for our sequences. So I'm going to probably choose a walk. Obviously it depends on what your cinematic is. Um, so here's a big thing. If we are having a cinematic where the character's doing something or doing a walk or a jump, you have to be careful. For something such as a walk, we need it in place. If it's not in place, what will happen is exactly what you'll see on the screen. If we put this into our sequencer, the character to walk, get to the end, and flicker back, teleport back, which is not what we want to see in our animation. It won't be blending nicely. It will cause quite a lot of problems. It's kind of being run from the animation, the movement is, whereas we would like to use that movement and control that movement with the use of keyframes. So I'm going to select it in place, like so, and then I'm going to click download. All these settings should automatically be fine, so FBX binary, skin with skin, 30 FPS, no keyframe reduction, and we can click download. We do have a lot of other settings as well here if you wanted to mess with them, so we can actually change the speed if you wanted to. We can do this inside of Unreal Engine, so don't worry about that. Click reset. We can change the stride, get a bit more of a distance, be a bit more casual if you wanted to. Obviously not all animations have this, but it's quite a nice luxury of this website. I'm probably going to have an animation where they idle for my cinematic. Let's do a, let's see, maybe they go into like a combat kind of ninja pose or a stealth pose. Let's put stealth, idle. Is there anything? Don't click these packs. If you download these packs, it'll download 22 animations, and they won't be as compatible, unfortunately. So I'm going to go back to the animation which we found earlier. If I can find it. I mean, this one might not be too bad anyway. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to bring this one back into play. Sometimes it can be a bit long to load. But hopefully it's alright. Okay, there's quite a lot of frames. Not really what I want. Maybe too much movement. I kind of just want it in an idle pose. I don't want it kind of crouching up and down. Um, I'm just going to do this normal idle. That'll be fine. Download. Download. Make sure you keep the same character or else there will be problems. And then I'm going to want something maybe like a kick or something. It depends on what your cinematic is. Try and think about it. I just want a kick animation if I can find one. Oh, let's just do this legal elbow punch animation. And then click download. Download. And that'll do. 3 animations for now. I'm going to go to Unreal Engine. All I've got here is a basic third person project with no starter content. You don't need to worry if you do have that, it just takes up a bit of space which we don't need. I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this character. This is where we're going to import the character and the animations. So character, new folder, anims. For animations, I'm going to put the character files into here and then the animations into here. So what you need to do is open up your downloads. Let's have a look. Oh, move this off screen. Now what we need to do is go to our downloads and actually find that. So let's see. Another quick way of doing this, to be fair, my files are on a different disk, so it's a pain in the ass. Just click on this downloads tab, click the folders, click this file here, and it'll open the folder, the download folder for you. Okay, let's have a look. So mine's come up on the other screen. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I've got these ones done here. All this stuff here is just past work. What I want you to do is Unreal Engine with this file open. Let's just download. Let's just do the idle for now. Drag this in, and we get all these settings inside of Unreal Engine. For now, I'm not going to import the animations. All I want is the character, so I'm going to click Import All. There we go, and we get, if we open this up, the character. Doing some autosave, that's fine. Here we go. So what it's currently called is idle, which is not really ideal. It's not the character. I'm going to call this Archer underscore CHAR. What I've done there is I've clicked on the skeleton mesh and just press F2, and that allows us to rename it. So I'm going to call this one Archer underscore skeleton. There you go. I'm not going to care about this one. These two are the main ones I want to focus on. I'm going to open up my animations. Going to go to my downloads. I'm going to drag in the idle. I'm going to select the skeleton. I'm going to click Archer, the one which you just renamed. I'm now going to import animations. Make sure that's ticked. I'm doing this in order on purpose, because if we untick import mesh, because we don't want the mesh anymore, we've already got the mesh in here, we actually lose that ability to kind of tick animation length. So if you can't find that, make sure this is ticked for now. Turn on import animation, and then just untick import mesh. We don't need any more. We've got it. It's actually here inside the skeleton. This is what's doing this. There's a bit of bug in Unreal Engine where it's showing like the weird material and not the skeleton, but don't worry, it should be there as long as you see the name here. And then I'm going to just click import, and it should only bring in, well, it's brought in two animation files, but this take one is just T-pose. Doesn't mean anything to us. You get that a lot with Mixamo. I'm going to delete that, force delete, and then I've got my idle animation. I'm going to do the same thing for the other animations. So illegal punch, drag in, select the skeleton, make sure import animations is ticked, and untick import mesh. We don't need the mesh anymore, or the skeleton. We've already got the skeleton in here, and it's linked to the mesh. Click import. Once again, delete the T-pose. You can tell with the T-posing icon here. As you can see here as well, we can see this green line going across. That's what represents an animation sequence. Okay. I'm going to drag in my strut working, Archer, untick, import mesh, and then import. Delete the T-pose. And now, what we can do, I'm going to select all these. Oh, maybe not all of them. One by one, I'm just going to drag them into the world, and we're going to see that. Oh, play shouldn't jump down. You can see that our animations are now inside of the world. Right, now I'm going to create a level sequence. I'm actually going to do this inside of my anims section. You can do it wherever you want. Maybe you want to make a new folder and keep it organized. I'm just going to do it here. What you do is you right click in the open space, find cinematics, left click on level sequence, and then call this character underscore cinematic. So in this, if you double click, we get an empty sequencer file. If you don't know how to use this for cameras, please watch my other video. It's located on the canvas. For now, I'm just going to create a single camera. I'm going to do a little bit of a cinematic with my character from this kind of angle, or maybe I'll have the character up on this pose here. I'm probably going to bring the focal length in a little bit, all I've done is hold on left click here, so focal length, hold on left click on the value and you just drag to the left or drag up if you want to zoom in or focus in. That's done. So what we've got here is it's a level sequence. And what level sequence means is that it communicates with what's in the level and what's being played. We can get characters in the air basically. Right now we are currently piloting our camera. Maybe if you want to go on like that, then that's fine, but we don't really want this. We want a camera, we need a camera for our sequence. We want to be able to control that. For now, I'm going to click this arrow here, and what that does is stops piloting, and piloting just means that we can control it with our viewport. Okay, so we can see the camera here now, and we can see what it's looking at here. I'm going to pin that for now. Right, what we need to do now is get our character inside of the scene. Do not just drag an animation, that will not work. We need to drag in, so our skeleton mesh, so if we see this pink bar here, go back to character, pink bar, drag that into the world, and face it the way you want it. I'm going to face mine towards the camera, like so. And that's what I want. The reason for that is because a skeleton mesh has access or information to all animations. If you go to the details panel, I can actually go to assets and actually see the assets here, and it'll play whatever I put in. For now, I'm not going to worry about this. Please leave this alone. That was just demonstration. I'm going to open up my character cinematic here. I'm then going to click on my character. It's inside the world now. Go to outliner. Yours might be different. Your details should be probably like this. I'm pretty sure that would be better. Select my character, and we'll see it in the outline. It's located in the world. It's located in the level, should I say. Hold on left click, drag that to this left side of the camera cut, the kind of sequence, the levels, the layers, sorry, of the sequencer. I'm going to let go, and my character is now in here. Some of you might have a problem getting this in. Let's have a look. You might have it where it's like this, and you're struggling to get it in. You might see this blue line appear. It's not appearing right now, but sometimes it does. That is a way, the way to fix that is just extending your viewport. Make sure you can see this open tab here. Click on the character, drag this into this open space. This is why double monitors are quite useful. Let's see if we can move that up. There we go. And now I've got the character down here. And what we can see, because this is skeleton mesh, we can actually see that there's an animation tab here, and we can actually add our animation into this. Let's see how long this lasts for now. It's not that bad. We can actually extend how long the animation lasts if you wanted to by moving this red line and extending the camera cut film reel there. Right, let's start off with our character walking towards the edge. I'm going to bring this backwards a little bit. Character can stay there. I'm going to click plus animation and click strut walk. And then I'm going to click this little plus button. So you should have learned this in the camera animation video. But this creates a keyframe for our character. I'm going to move forward on the timeline and we see that it walks on the spot. We don't really want it walking on the spot. We want it walk towards the edge. I think I'm going to want a few more steps, so I'm going to extend the animation, and what this does is it loops it. Okay. What I'm going to do, towards the end, I'm going to have the character move towards where I want it to walk to, and then press keyframe on the transform again. And now we get a walk towards the edge. Doesn't look the best, but don't worry, we can always do some cleanup. We can use the curve editor like we've used in animation before. Maybe I'll make this linear to make it not cause some problems. Maybe I'll have it slow out actually. Let's have a look. If I set it to auto, it should slow out already. Not bad. So now if I press play, it keeps that speed and then it slows down a little bit towards the end. I'm actually going to move that keyframe forward a tiny bit. There we go. And you can see it kind of cuts into this default pose. For this character, it's got a default pose. Normally I have characters with A pose or T pose. With this, I'm going to click plus animation. I'm going to have it go into the idle. And you'll see that it's kind of come into two layers and it gets a bit confused. and it's not even blending into the idle, which we want it to do. I'm just going to drag this track to the same track of the strut walk, and here I'm going to drag this slightly over the previous animation. What that does, it blends the animation. So now if I press play, you can see it no longer flickers into that animation. If I press play, it now blends quite nicely into it. To change that a bit more, maybe you want to add more frames of the blend. There we go, not too bad. Yeah, I'm actually going to look at the feet here. Oh, it has a bit of slide, and I'm going to actually not have it blend too much. That'll do for now. It's only a level sequence. Right, with that done, I'm going to want to do maybe like the punch over your, sorry, the elbow. So I'm going to add the animation, just like we did before. Legal elbow punch, drag that up, and make it blend, drag it over it. So now if I press play, it blends from the idle to the legal elbow punch. That's very much the basics to our cinematic. Maybe I want to move the camera a little bit, so I'm gonna move this a little bit so that the character's centered. Maybe have it a bit closer. Maybe have it facing up at the character to show it's being a bit fierce. That's not too bad. So I'm gonna go to my viewport. I'm gonna click this little camera here to get my viewport to be the camera. I'm gonna click play. Now I have a bit of cinematic. The character walks up to the edge, does a punch. Okay, it doesn't make sense, but imagine we have a second character in here. Maybe we do like a Mortal Kombat scene. That could be quite fun. Lots of animations on Mixamo where the character does indeed actually take a punch or take a hit or take damage, which we could use for that for a fight scene. There's kicks, elbows, anything. Primarily all here or all made on Mixamo for biped characters and not quadruped, so please kind of take that into consideration. Overall, that is the basics of animating a character inside of Sequencer and making a bit of a film. If you haven't watched my camera cinematic animation or Sequencer animation, please watch that. It's got a lot of details on how to animate the camera, setting up the viewport, how to use Sequencer, but also how to render your video. Okay, right, that should be it for now. Any questions, please let the tutor know inside of class, and I'll see you guys another time. Right, see ya.